Hello and welcome to this video. And like the video before, if you missed it, go check it out. I'm going to be using this hat to see a bit more close up on what we're doing with these lights. And if you didn't see the video before, we put a board up, we put a one-way switch, in for this one, and then a two-way switch in for the landing lights, with an intermediate as well. But that was the last video, so you can go and check that out. So in this video, what we're going to be doing is changing these lights for downlights. And we've got 4 different downlights to change, to test out, to see if they're any good. So the first one, we've got a Paul Russell's downlight. And this one's a black one, the only one that's black. This is a bit of a fancy one. So we've got this downlight we're going to check out. We've got a Bell Firestay Duo, which has got a white bezel, and we'll be checking that out as well. What else have we got? We've got a JCC V50. We've got an ELD Quartz 4CT, which is a 7-watt colour changing lamp. So I've installed all these before, but I thought if I walk you through, and then you can make your mind up which one will be the best for you to install for your customers. And just to show you as well, we could put this in, but this is the old ones that we used to put in years ago. I'm speaking like I'm speaking to the old guys. But this one is just a normal fire rated JCC can, where you put a JCC, you don't put a JCC, you put a normal GU10 lamp in it, the twist and lock. When I first started out, I must have put thousands of these in. Everyone loves a downlight, and they just fit the retrofit LED GU10 downlights. But I've just got this one because I found it among my stuff, basically. Let's get a hat on, and first things first, we obviously know they work and they're on. So what we want to do is safe isolation. Basically knock it off the board. We've only got one circuit in there. And then for safe isolation, put your little lock-off kit. Oh, there we go. Put your little lock-off kit that way up. There we go. Let's get that in there. Mix the numbers up, because 0, someone will guess. And basically they can't switch the circuit on. Look, that's off there, so that's dead. So then what we want to do is whip these downlights down. So there we go, we'll whip all these off. And we're going to take these pendants out. So for starters, what we could do is take the lamps out, because if you drop them, they're going to smash. So just take the lamps out to start with. It'll make it a little bit easier. Go. One out. Two up. There's something I didn't do that we should do as well, really, is to check to make sure they're dead. So if you get a little voltmeter and check that there's no voltage on there whatsoever, and check it on a known supply back at the board to make sure that your tester's not faulty. So if you check that there's 240 there, and then there's not 240 there, and then check once again. Right, so then whip these out. Right, and then what we want to do is disconnect the wires. So the first one we're going to fit is the Paul Russell's LED downlight. This one is a 6-watt downlight with 3 interchangeable colours, which, let's have a look. The bezel just comes off, so obviously you can change that bezel to chrome, white, brush chrome, whatever you want. And then if you look inside there, there's a little switch. 6500K, 4000K, 3000K. See that in there? And that's your selectable colour. So I like these ones because you don't have to take them out of the ceiling to change the colour. So let's fit this. And we've got the live earth and neutral going in there. But what I did with these ceiling roses is I twisted over at the ends. So we're going to have to nip them off to re-terminate them. Because these push fit ones, let's put this up back up. We're going to have to re-terminate them because when I put them in the ceiling rose, I bent it over for a better connection, like this, twisted them over. But as you can see on these, they don't need to be bent over. They're push fit and they'll push straight in. So we don't want to bend them over. So then we're going to put this neutral. We should just push straight in. There we go, give it a tug test. Yes indeed. Push straight in. What we can do to help it, just to get it to go in a bit better, is push it a bit with your grips or your side cutters, because it just makes it a bit easier. And then put that earth in there. That tug test. We're a bit fiddly. Could do with bigger connections, to be honest. That's in there. And then same with the neutral. It'll just be a matter of putting it inside that hole. Beautiful, made for it. Right, well, we've got 3 more to do. So that is the Paul Russell colour selectable. So once we get it on, we'll try that one out. So the next one we're going to install is the Bell Lighting Firestay Duo. Right, and this one comes with a separate bezel, which I've just got a white one. Keep it clean, put it in there. And then it comes with a plug, so we can terminate it in the plug. A push fit once again, look. Oh, sugar. Oh, sorry, this. Push fit once again, inside there. Wish he's made these bigger, because we'll get the terminations in there. And then you can just plug the light in after. But on this light, we've got the colour selectable once again, which is 2700, 3000K, 4000K and 6000K. So this has got 4 features on it. That's quite good. And then also you can select it to 6 watt or 4 watt. Right, once again we have a permanent live in there, which we will not be using, so we can just chop that out for now. Not completely out, because you never know, one day we might use it, which, keep watching, stay tuned. I will see you the reason why I've wired it in 3 core. And then so inside, I'll push it in plug. Live. Oh, there we go. That's in. Tug test. what just fell off there? Bleeding earth through wood. So that's tug test, that's in. Earth. You can push them down to make them go in easier, but firstly, I like to try and get them in so they grab themselves. Yes, that's in there, nice. Form that on there. There we go. So yeah, the plugs are quite small, but they fit in. Right, so then what we're going to do, we're just going to plug this in now. So what we'll do now, we'll just plug this in, because then we'll have a look at what wattage is different. The 4 to 5 watt. It might be brighter, it might be different. We'll just have a little look. Right, plug that in. Right, and that is the Bell, oh sugar, and that's the Bell Firestay Duo. Right, for the next one we'll install is the ELD, and this is 7 watt again. So 7 watt, and it's got the 4 colours interchangeable on the top. So this one has to come out the ceiling to be able to change the colour. But again, the bezels, you can change different colour to chrome, black, brushed, whatever you want. So you need to sort of twist and lock on. But this one, you've got to hold in your hands to terminate it. They fix these up well. This one as well though, if you have a little look, it's got the same terminations as the bell light. They're pushed in and they're quite small, so you have to try and get them quite nice and neat in there. So let's chop this cable down again so we can get them neat. So then let's terminate this into here, where again we're going to go live, give it a tug, it's in. I hate it when you turn them on, one doesn't work and you wonder why, because they haven't gone in properly. Right, so is that gone in? Or you test and there's no continuity on the earth. It's because one of them hasn't gone into these push connectors. So these push connectors are good for speed, but sometimes they're a bit of a pain to terminate if you're weak-handed. This in, tug, tug, tug. There we go. Right, so that can go in there nice and neat. Pull this one down now. If we do the neutral first. Put that over, and that's sealed in. So then this one needs to be hanging out as well, because is that going to fit up there? Yeah, it will, because you need to change the colour selectable. So that's going to have to be hanging out the ceiling. So it's a good idea for these Bell ones, not Bell ones, Paul Russell even. Where's the box? These Paul Russell ones, because once they're in, all you got to do is take the bezel off to change the colour selecting. I think they're quite good. And then, last but not least, the V50s. These are the JCC V50s. They've got quite a good reputation, I think. But they have the LED, which comes with a little plug, and the driver are separate. So you can get the terminations in there. I'll pull that off, that'll go back on. But the terminations in there. So the driver and the LED unit is separate, which is not a bad thing, because then if anything goes wrong, but you think sometimes, are they counting on things going wrong? If one goes wrong, you don't have to replace the whole lot. but they're all around the same price. So what's the point? But these ones as well, they come with the bezels. These are metal bezels as well. So I suppose, I don't know, metal, you might think better quality. But then on here, we can have this as warm white or cool white. There's a little colour changing bit. So once they are installed into the ceiling, you don't have to take them out again. So let's install this one. We can put this back on, which just clips on like so. Get it in, and that's quite nice and neat. I don't mind that. And this one as well, we can just connect up. So if you're sort of, what do you call it, if you first fixed in, you can terminate them just enough to test, take these out so they don't get damaged, and put them back in the cupboard or the van. Right, so we can plug this in. You can't get it the wrong way because it's got a little locating bit on it. Put her up, bend these out, push them up, and that is lovely and secure. And then obviously, while they're down, before you put them back up, not like I have these, is test your circuit. Just to make sure, maybe test it with the switch, back at the board, insulation resistant, earth loop. Earth loop's obviously when it's on, but you just test it to make sure you've got no short connections. But I've just done that. I've belted them out just to make sure that I've got no connections and give it a bit of a resistance. Well, 240 volts because I don't want to damage the LEDs. So I only did it on, what, 250 volts on the tester. So now to turn it on, which obviously I'll take the lock off kit off. Who remembers the code? Stick it in the comments. There we go. No. If you ever work in your house, you know my code now, so you can take it off and electrocute me. So let's take a look at this Paul Russell 6 watt LED downlight. I tell you, right, let's turn it off. So it says 4 colour selectables. So that must be cool. It's a bit fiddly to get in there. And this one, all right, that's warm white. That's warm white. One click to the middle. That's cool white. And one click to the end. That's daylight. So basically, you don't have to take it out the ceiling. And with the bezels, you just slip them on. Oh no, that's got to be. You've got to pull it out of the ceiling to get the grab on it, to get it to go on. So right, you've got to get it out of the ceiling to get a grab on it anyway, but it come out nice and neat. So, and for some reason, it's got like an insert going in. If you can see that, it goes in, but them LEDs, they're quite nice. It's a decent light. So that is your Paul Russell 3 colour selectable. I'll leave a link in the comments for them if you're interested. They're quite nice lights. Right, so the next one, what we got here, that's the bell. Right, so this bell one, flipping hell, they're bright. Right, so let's see on the wall here, look. So this is on 6 watt. Not much different. I don't understand why you'd do a 4 watt and a 6 watt. So that's 6 watt. That's 4 watt. Let's knock her off, because these have got 4 colour changes. Right, and that one is 2700K. It's nice, like a bit of a warm light. So let's stick it on 6 watt. That's the brightest. That's a warm white. Right, this is most common what I think I've used before, is 3000K. There we go, it's not a bad one. Next one is 4000K. Can't really tell much difference, but that's 4000K. No, hang about. It's a bit difficult to get the right setting. That's your 4000K, look. That's classed as cool white. And then that, oh, your daylight's meant to be 6000K. I don't like that light, but some people do. So let's see how easy it is to put back in the ceiling. Get that up there with the plug. That's just a plug, it's not a driver or anything like that in there. The driver is all built into that. So then we've got that on 6000K. So we want to put the bezel on as well, which it's easier to put the bleeding bezels on once they're down in it, so you can grab a hold of it and pull it on. So put this up, and there we go. That's your bell light. And I do think them bell lights are a bit brighter if you look against the wall compared to that Paul Russell one. I don't know, it looks a bit tidier and brighter. Right. So then let's look at this ELD light. See what we've got on here. So the ELD one, let's have a look what colour it is. So let's put that, this is exactly the same as the bell. It's got warm white, which looks like someone's been smoking in there. And then 3000K, this is the most common, the comfortable, I assume what people put in their houses. I'll put in my house. That's like your normal white. And your 4000K, some people like this maybe in the kitchen where they're working or in an office so you can see they're a bit brighter. Well, you're not relaxing. Basically the 4000K. And this one, in my experience, people use this outside where they want it to light it up, basically like daylight. So, and this we're going to leave on 6000K once again, and put this in the ceiling. I know these are easy because I've fitted a lot of them. So, ooh, if you look, that's similar to that bell one. They're just as good. I don't know why it looks a bit cleaner. They've got different bezels, slightly different, but them ELD and the bell are fitted are quite similar, I think. Right, so then now, I've fitted a lot of these V50s as well. But if you look at that, that is the warm white. I sort of haven't got much to do with that. They put them up, it's done, it's on. So that's your warm white. It don't look as good, but then looks, you can just change this to cool white, which put a little rubber bit on there. The metal bezel can go back on. There we go, and you can do these. And that still twists a bit. So let's see if we can grab hold of that. But that's not too bad, that's a cool white as well. So that's a nice cool white. But then, if you look at them all, which one would you say is best? They're bright, I'll give you that, you don't look at them for too long. But I reckon it's out of these two. My preference. So there we go. We have the Paul Russell Downlight, which is that one up there with the black bezel. We have the Bell Firestay Duo, which I think is quite nice. It's a good one. I might start using some of these. And then we have the ELD Quartz 4CT, which I have used a lot of these. I think these maybe come out. They've got 4 coloured selectables. I like it, and different size bezels. They're quite good. I like them ones. And the thing is with these, you get 2 bezels with them. So if you want, they're plastic bezels, which doesn't bother me in the slightest, because once they're on there, no one cares. You can just change the bezel, and it comes with a white and a brushed chrome. Take a look at that. Looks quite nice. That brushed chrome one up there as well. So that's a little added bonus with this ELD light. And then obviously we've got the V50. Turn them lights back on. we've got the V50, the JCC V50, which I've installed thousands of JCCs, which I originally did with these in the GU10s, and then went on to the JCC Fireguard or Fire Safe, I think they were called, Downlights, but the 7-year warranty done my head in, so I didn't carry on with them. But I can confidently say that all these lights, all 4 of them, are probably better than the twist and lock JCC downlight. So now we've upgraded the little house in the garage with downlights. So stay tuned for the next project, what we're going to do in this little house, and leave in the comments something that you'd like to see me do. Until next time, I'll see you again.